Good afternoon, everybody. I hope that your day has been going fantastic so far, and it's about to get even better because today we have Stacey Williams from Southern Gothic Oracle, and we are going to chat with her. And it looks like she came right on, so let's get this going. On here. Hello, everyone. My name is Jen Sankey. I own Stardust Wanderer Tarot, and also
Hi.
Hi, how are
Hey,
you?
Jen.
Hi, you are here. Yay!
Yay. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you on, and I'm excited to hear about all the stuff you have going on. I'm trying to like wave to all the people on here. Like sometimes it works and then sometimes it doesn't. So you just never know at Instagram. It's just one of those things.
Yeah. Oops, I turned my camera around, but that's okay. I'm in this cool herbal room, which is fun to show off anyhow.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not mad about this, although I want to see your wonderful face, but this is like a really cool space.
Oh, yeah. This is fantastic. This is where I read tarot, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Ebo Spiritual Supply. Ebo, E-B-B-O, is a Yoruba word for spiritual gifts. And this is like the OG magic shop in Memphis, Tennessee, where I live.
Wow, I love it. Yeah, see, I'm going to have to come visit. My son moved to Nashville about 4 or 5 months ago.
Awesome.
So I was down there a little bit, but I've been, we want to get down there and start exploring around. It's just so pretty down there too.
Especially right now, like all the dogwoods are blossoming and all that. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, I know. I'm so jealous of that because we're like almost to spring. Like it's like right there.
Are you in Salem?
I am actually in upstate New York, so I'm about 3 hours west. Yeah. So it's like, it's almost there, but not quite. And it's like still cold. We're like, might get snow later. And I'm just like, can we just be done now? I'm over it.
Oh yeah. No, we don't have that. We have azalea blossoms.
No, I know. My son is just like, oh yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like 70 something here today. And I'm like, oh, you could just shut up.
I know. That's what Southerners do this is what we do to feel superior. It's really petty.
I love it though. It is beautiful down there, but well, welcome.
Thank you.
Introduce you here, and we'll get going. Everybody, like I said before, my name is Jen Sankey. I own Stardust Wanderer Tarot. I'm also part of the Cartomancer magazine, and I'm also on the board here at Witch City Tarot Gathering. And we are doing an interview series, just kind of introducing everybody to you that's going to be at this wonderful gathering. And we have curated such a collection of all of these wonderful people, and it's so amazing, and I'm so excited to meet everybody in person. That's like the best part.
Yeah, last year I was involved with the virtual conference, which obviously I approve of, but I really wanted to meet everybody, and I'm so excited it's in person.
I'm so excited. And we have Stacey Williams here. She is the creator of the Southern Gothic Oracle, and now the new coming out Southern Botanic Oracle, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about the Southern Botanic Oracle that's coming out. Like that's like up for order now, right? Like
I have a prop. So the printer was so Joshua Mears. Thank you for saying that. He's one of my big fans. We've never met in person, but he supports my Kickstarters every time, and he sends me sweet messages about how much he loves the decks. So it's good to see you here. These are printer samples of the Southern Botanic Oracle, which is going to be the new deck. And it's almost done. Even though I'm holding them in my hands, it looks like, oh, it's done. No, I actually still have 3 paintings to go. But these are samples that I was able to get of some of the preliminary paintings.
Awesome.
Let's see what the first one that came up is Cotton. You know, what's more southern and sinister and menacing and sad than cotton? So it's got some heavy hitting messages in it as well as positive messages. It's not all just flower blossoms and sweetness. There's a lot of
I love
edge.
That. I love that.
Yeah, there's definitely some edge to it because we come from an edgy and violent place. So there's a lot in there. There's shadow work. I also included, I did on the Kickstarter, which just ended at the end of March, I had a stretch goal that if I got to a certain level, I would do a 9-card expansion pack,
Wow.
which is similar to what I did with the Southern Gothic Oracle last year. I did a 9-card expansion pack of Southern Haunts, which are Southern monsters and ghosts and cryptids.
Oh, that's
and
so
that was
cool.
super popular. And the reason people, I think, or at least I know, because I've been told, the reason people like those 9 cards is because it adds, you know, that element of shadow work. It makes the deck even darker and gives you some much more challenging kinds of lessons to think about. Like in the Haunts, for example, there's this woman who was beheaded by her boyfriend, you know, and so the card is called Crimes of Passion, and it makes you think about, do you have impulses you can't control? You know, so they're really dark cards, okay?
No, and I think that is awesome.
and,
I love that. Because
so
there
now
isn't
I'm
a
doing
lot
the
of
Southern
oracle
Botanic
cards with that, you know?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I think the criticism often with oracle cards is that they're too sweet, you know, because tarot offers some really tough lessons, whereas many oracle cards are, you know, rainbows and butterflies, which there's nothing wrong with rainbows and butterflies. But I wanted to provide an oracle deck that was more of the gamut of human emotions. So there's, you know, love and friendship and longevity and mostly positive messages, but you have to include, you know, the whole thing. The diversity of experience. Yeah.
Well, and I like it too because it's kind of almost like that bridge to tarot as well. Like there are people who just use oracle because they're afraid of tarot, you know?
Yeah.
So if they grab your deck, that's awesome. It's like that, like little bit of a bridge. Like, yeah, sometimes it's a little stretchy, but that's okay.
Absolutely.
It's just how
it's very accessible. It's super accessible. I mean, you don't have to have studied anything. You don't have to understand the tarot paradigm or what it was supposed, like you don't understand what the Empress is supposed to mean.
Right.
You can just pull like a raccoon card and be like, oh, raccoon, curious, I get it. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. That's so exciting for you though.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. So you will be also presenting at Witch City too, right? What are you talking about?
Well, I'm going to be talking about the process for making oracle cards. I think a lot of people have been doing that lately. I just watched a really beautiful Instagram live from Eric Mail, who did, you know, like the paper, Lenormand and stuff. He's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been seeing other makers do that. So I will be doing a little of that. But I also really like to provide information about my area of expertise. I say expertise. I still don't consider myself an expert, but this is my area of research, which is Southern folklore. Okay. So my session will talk about Southern magic and folklore, the use of Southern herbs and how we use plants down here for magical purposes, and how that all feeds into the deck. So it'll be a combination of like, yeah, this is my path as an artist to make a couple of oracle decks, and here's some experience, but it's not going to be very heavy handed unless people have a lot of questions. I would prefer to talk about, I think, the Southern culture side of things and how we use these lovely roots, you know.
Yes, that's awesome. No, I love that. Yeah. And I think too, there's just a lot of people don't know if they even can use a lot of the different things from the South too, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. So I think that's
like about closed practices, you mean?
Yes. And I think that's really important too. And I think there's so many people so interested about it and they just don't know where to go for it. And I love too that you can even use your deck to learn different things about, you know, all of that too. So that's really cool as well.
Yeah. And about that too, because that's such a hot topic, because the South is such a diverse place because of our history. And it's like, let's not pretend why we don't know it's diverse. We know why. And so we've been mixing as a triracial society, and now it's a multiracial society down here for a very long time. And I love to talk about this in terms of magic and in terms of how all the magical practices have mixed together, how African traditional religion came over here. I couldn't be more fascinated with this topic, so I'd love to talk. Yeah,
no, it is super. It is just really super cool. And I had done like my ancestry thing, and I have like ties down that way too. And I don't know a lot of my family history, but it's cool to just see, like, you could see where everybody came in from and all of that. So it's really awesome. Excuse me. My allergies are like not happy right now.
Yeah, it's that time. I know.
It's like freezing out, but my allergies are going crazy. I don't understand.
Me too.
Anyway.
Now I feel like I'm in a safe place to cough.
Right. No, you can. You can come, you can take a drink, you can do all the things. I don't care. It's fine. Like, we are human, so we do human things. It's amazing. You know, and you know, I think too, like with your deck too, just even you know, the everyday things, like you brought up the raccoon, like maybe you've been seeing like images of raccoons all the time. So you could even just like pop into your guidebook and be like, why do I keep seeing raccoons? And maybe that's the message too.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
actually had one of my favorite readers. He's also a local reader here at another magic shop. His name's Sam. And Sam he had pulled the possum card from my deck. And then he had seen a possum in his backyard the same day. And then there was a big discussion we had about the meaning of the card vis-a-vis what was going on in his life because we're friends. Yeah, so it's really fun when that happens. When you use ordinary objects like that, people can feel really in touch with their immediate surroundings. You're right.
Yes. No, absolutely. And
I say objects. I meant animals, but they're also objects in the deck.
Yeah, they could be objects, but you can use objects, like everyday objects. You know, you could divinate with anything, right? Like, it's one of those things that I think a lot of people don't realize that either. So, you know, I do think that's also really important. And I think with your, you know, with your talk you're going to be doing too, it's just kind of like tying all of that in. So that's going to be really awesome. I'm excited for it. So I'm going to have to sneak in.
I'm going to have a big announcement in July, by the way. Shall I give a hint?
Yes, please.
So at the Witch City Tarot, and not before, I'm going to be giving the details on my forthcoming tarot deck.
Yay! That's so exciting.
Yeah.
So we'll get to hear all about it in July then, right?
That's right. That's all I'm saying.
Got it. Okay. That's awesome. So why don't you tell everybody too where they can follow you to make sure they don't miss out on all this good stuff?
Oh, thank you. So there's this account, which is Southern Gothic Oracle with underscores. So like Southern _ Gothic _ Oracle. I know it's a lot to type. You can do it. And then I opened a second one for the Botanic deck, which is this kind of the same format, Southern Botanic Oracle. And a lot of times I cross post on both of them, especially with the Botanic stuff, because it kind of applies. But I would love for you to look that up. And also just look up the website, southerngothicoracle.com.
Awesome. Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. I'm so excited to meet you in person. And
me too, Jen.
I'm so excited for it. And thank you. And I'll go ahead and I'm going to, you know, post all your stuff underneath here too after so everyone can find you.
Awesome.
And we look forward to seeing you in a couple months. Thank you, Stacey.
Thank you so much, Jen.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.